thinking, well, is this person really intelligent, or are they just trying to give me the runaround, or trying to highbrow me, or is it lowbrow? Yeah, they're trying to act like, like you're ignorant and they're intelligent because they're quick because either their position or because they're just trying to belittle you. And there are those that they'll keep asking you the same question because you didn't answer it. For them, you didn't answer it correctly. So there's a way to answer a question is yes or no. But not everything is a yes or no question. They say it's a yes or no question, but they only want the yes or no out of you, and they say you're not answering the question because they had another question behind it in order to make you look bad. But if you say, well, first of all, it's not everything, and in any question, there's yes, there's no. Of course, it's not even answering the question, or you don't care about it. And then there's it depends. So they're trying to make it out to be a yes or no question. There's no such thing as a yes or no question. It's a question. It doesn't mean yes or no. It could be neutral, or it could be it depends. Just like they can ask a question the way they want, you can answer a question the way you want. But I mean, you obviously, some people even change the subject in the answer. But regardless of that, you will know exactly what's the person doing by their answer and their response, if it's a cover-up or if it's a deception in some way, or being deceptive. But regardless, if the basic at least understanding, it's yes, no, of course, I don't care either way, or neutral, it doesn't, honest negative, and then there's it depends. So they're trying to control your answer so they can have another question in order to confuse, or in order to help boost their side, claiming that to be your master and you're superior by their position. And usually these people don't have any no moral currency, and they themselves are stuck in a state of ignorance. So it's up to that point where these people will ask the same question and want you to answer it over and over again. And if you just like you don't respond to it, or you respond in a way that's not the way they want, and they say, well, you didn't answer the question. When you responded to the question, but you didn't answer it the way they want it. And therefore they lie and say, well, you didn't even respond to the question when you actually did. But again, what's the overall objective? Because some people are in there just interrogating you for hours, asking you similar questions when the relevance of that question is irrelevant. And not only that, but they're interrogating you. Why are you interrogating this person as opposed to letting them do what they're doing? It could be a cop, or it could be your employer, or it could be a judge. When the objective is not to interrogate, but okay, is there a problem? And what does the policy say? And follow the policy. But it's not they're becoming the problem. They're becoming the interrogator. They're the problem. They're creating more problems in order for you to react in such a way, or whatever you do or don't do, they'll find that as you being guilty when they created the whole scenario. It had nothing to do with the work. It had nothing to do with the law, but other than them breaking their own rules and regulations in order for them to find an objective, to have an outcome of whatever the outcome that they're trying to get. And sometimes the outcome is better than having to deal with their haranguement. So you might not want to play the game and just stay quiet. Oh, this guy's not answering my questions. Let's just throw the book at him. Usually that's the case. He didn't answer my question. Whatever's the penalty, let's throw it. But why are you asking him the question? What laws? What did he break? What rule did he break? And some of them will be, we think he might have had this, or we think. No one's ever found anything, but yet they say that wasn't even the part they say you were penalized for. You were always penalized for not answering the question when there was no reason for interrogation. And they are interrogating when you see how they're drilling you with these questions, just drilling you and claiming to be your master. Oh, I'm the police officer, you blah, blah, blah. I'm your boss, blah, blah, blah. No, you are not my master. We are here together in a state of cooperation in order to create a better outcome. But that's not the way they see it. They claim to be your master, and you got to do what they do, or we'll penalize you or kill you or whatever they want. But you need to maintain your positiveness, because regardless of their lies and how their secret order says, okay, that's Johnny, he's from our order, so we got to back him up even though he's ignorant and he's a fool. So they break all these laws in order to hurt you when you're the good guy. And that's where like the Christ effect is, and which other people also have died for what they believed in, but only if you maintain that peace and that integrity. Well, you come out flying, and you come out. No matter what they do, you're always the winner, because it's not always the last word that wins. It's the last positive word that always wins, the last positive action, and by following that structure. And so they continue in these negative behaviors, and they're using these encounters to make it look like you're the bad guy when it was them who instigated it. And so they're working towards this negative action, going towards that negative, which was negatively planned. And they're just trying to make it up like they just made it up. And your thoughts in that action, or you could be like, oh, woe's me, they're attacking me, or you can be like, rejoicing in your pain and suffering, because you know it'll build strength and it'll build character within yourself. And sometimes they act like they're your friend at first, but then you'll know over time, because if they start to shift, again, positive people are always positive, meaning that they're continuously positive over time. Negative people, they contradict themselves over time. And even in games, when you're playing a game, you're just playing for fun. The game is more fun whether you lose or win, because the whole game was the fun of it. And some people, because of their win, they'll try to hold it over you. Oh, I won the game. Like they won some great thing, but it's not the winning of the game. It's the actual game itself that's fun, and that's where the joy should be, from the using your energy and interacting with others. And it's not the last score, because technically that's not the last score in life anyway, and the points is not a spiritual level, but based on a physical point in which you can learn from and excel perhaps the next time. Not every boxer is going to be always on top. Eventually, it's only a matter of time before somebody's going to, beat them down, and and these other teams, because there's a lot of factors that go into these games. Could be somebody had a bad time, they had a bad night last night, or they ate something wrong, or maybe they slept wrong, or a myriad of different things, possibilities that can go into that. So no matter what, you'll never be the best at that particular thing, or depending, at some point you may be way up there, but the point is that you're doing things in a positive structure in order to excel. So then others can excel, and we can all learn from and grow, and both enjoy this these games per se. Sometimes they'll give the trophy to someone else when really the other guy deserved it. Every now and then you see that the guy in first place will be like, give the trophy to the guy in second place because he feel like they got robbed. Sometimes that happens too. There's a lot of politics and things like that as well. But in any case, it's just enjoying yourself as you do what you're doing, and that's what's important. And maintaining your positiveness and continuing on and again growing better, smarter, stronger as you go through life in your perception, your understanding, and your energy. A lot of people, or these negative individuals rather per se, they irritate you and expect you to be happy about it. So, you talk about good sportsmanship or bad sportsmanship, and some people you can see it in different competitions where they just be trying to rile another person as opposed to just being good sportsmen. And then they like to poke the bear and upset people, and these people are negative individuals. They're liars, they're hypocrites, because they don't want to be treated that way. But again, you don't fall for that. They want to be poking the bear and ignorant. Usually they get their comeuppance. It's only a matter of time. It's like a clock going tick, 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 tick. They just keep hurting and hurting people and just tick, tick. It's only a matter of time before they're going to hit the brick wall, either in this world or as we pass on into our next state of being. We will go over that as well a little later on into you get to understand the concept of how we are greater than our physical form. So these negative people, they use these ignorant forms of behaviors. It's like they were children and nobody ever taught them any better. And then some people will like to fight over the truth. A fight ain't going to tell you whether the truth is not. Just logical communication with two individuals that are willing to abide by the truth is the only way. But arguing with another person, because the other person is just going to be arguing for the sake of arguing, so they're going to contradict you and contradict you. It doesn't matter. You could have been right in this sentence, right in this sentence, right in this sentence, but then when it's their turn to talk, they're going to be wrong on that sentence, wrong. They're going to contradict, just for the sake of contradiction. You can say the sky's blue today, and they're going to be like, no, it's not, and they're going to say this and this. I mean, who knows how far they're willing to go, and then they start using semantics to try to make themselves right, and the reasoning behind it, and so forth, as opposed to being agreeable anyway, in any way. So they use this claiming the truth is not by just something that's provable, like using the scientific method, but the truth is because they said so, or because they'll kill you, or because they'll beat you up. It's the truth, or I'll beat you up, and you'll be like, I mean, you just don't respond to that kind of statement, but a lot of people do. It's like, okay, and they just stay quiet. But if they hurt you, it doesn't make them correct. That's not a intellectual rebuttal. And if you hurt them, it only shows how they incited you into using their hurt, which sometimes they'll try to claim intelligence by, because they can control your actions. So the question was never resolved by using logic, or will it ever be resolved by these people, because they would want to interrupt you or act like they can kick your ass as opposed to just continuing in logic and gaining understanding. Like the saying goes, when you correct a fool, they will only hurt you. But if you correct a wise man, he will love you. There is a procedure for love and there is a procedure for hate. They are two entirely different moralities, two entirely different energies, two different beliefs, two different actions. They follow two different code systems. Treat others as you won't be treated. So you inform someone what they did was wrong. Now another person reacts and projects if someone's saying they don't like you or to argue. And they'll say, they'll ask you to apologize because you hurt them. In other words, they escalate the more the argument by using illogical reasoning. They like to win over who has the last word, as opposed to who had the best logical understanding of what was said. Uses the good for the bad as opposed for using the bad for the good. They are unforgiving people. They want to control you through dialogue and power or physical attacking. In other words, the power to hate, as opposed to forgiving people and willing to yield to the truth. They are apathetic as opposed to being empathetic. They have low self-esteem or overly high self-esteem instead of having a good self-esteem. They are unforgiving as opposed to able to forgive. They are unlovable by their very own choice of the words they spout and their actions, which is selfish, as opposed to being able to love, able to give and share rather than take. They oppose God, not because if they believe it or not. They oppose God because God is love, and they choose not to have love. So by the same reasoning, they hate God. So if they hate love, they hate God, especially if they hear that God is love. As opposed to, sometimes these very same people will be atheists and say, well, I don't believe in God, but yet they believe in Lucifer or Satan, because they understand the energy. But had they focused and changed their understanding, then they would understand love and therefore follow God or love God. But you cannot love someone who does not possess love. They reject it. And they reject God. They reject love. And yet they blame God for their understanding, which doesn't understand God. Which again is hypocrisy. It's flawless in its understanding. So they shut the kingdom of heaven down. And they shut their mind down to God. And a lot of these people don't want to enter heaven, but don't want you to enter heaven either. So again, they're trying to make you as wicked as they are, but again, it all goes to pot, because more wicked means that their hypocrisy they're gonna live by the law. See, the hypocrites want to live by a law that's not hypocrite. So this is their first problem, because if the hypocrites lived by the law, the very same law, an example would be like a Muslim have a law that says, if you're not Muslim, I could chop your head off. So then you get a Christian that says, if you're not Christian, I'll chop your head off. So then you put them all together in a room. Next thing you know, you got everybody lopping heads and left and right, as opposed to be like.